I'm about to show you the exact step-by-step process we use to help clients like the one in this case study go from doing under 100K a year to doing over $1 million in the last 12 months, and how we're scaling them to multiple seven figures this year profitably. These are also the same growth frameworks we use for our seven-figure clients that are looking to scale to multiple 7 and 8 figures. The process of growth is the exact same no matter what size of business you have, and it breaks down into 3 main parts: attention, conversion, and retention. In this video, I'm going to give you an inside view of every one of those elements and how we implement them directly for this brand, so you can copy that and see exactly what you need to do in your own brand to be able to achieve the same results. I'm going to show you everything we were doing, from the media buying to the landing pages to the PDPs and everything in between, of how we position these brands to be authorities in their own niche and allow them to scale effortlessly, profitably, and most importantly, sustainably. And if you don't know who I am, my name is Nizar and I'm the CEO and founder here at Simply Scaled. I got started with dropshipping and e-commerce back in 2015, and I was able to scale 3 of my brands to multiple 7 figures, where I exited one of them back in 2020. I shut one down and I still operate one today. I've spent millions of my own money on ads and tens of millions of clients' money on ads profitably, and I consult with multiple 7 and 8 figure brands as a fractional CMO, building them growth teams that will help them scale their business even further. And what we do here at Simply Scaled is 2 things, and we do it very well. We make winning ads that scale, and we build customer journeys that convert people like clockwork. So if you own a brand that's doing multiple 6 or 7 figures and you're looking to scale to 8 figures and beyond, then you should click the button below this video and book in a call with myself so we can have a conversation and see if we're the right fit to work together. All right, so now we're in my computer here. I'm just gonna show you the Shopify dashboard. I'm gonna refresh this page here so you can see back in 2021, these guys only did about $30,000 in sales. Their biggest month being $9,000 in sales in November, which we all know is Q4. So you got Black Friday deals and all that kind of stuff. Now we're gonna hop into the beginning of the year after. So in 2022, start working together about halfway through January. So I'm gonna go from January 1st to March, just so you can kind of see the difference. So as you can see, from January to March, we're able to do $20,000 in sales, which is, 600% higher than the year before, which doesn't really matter because they weren't really doing much advertising. But what I want to show you is by the end of 2022, let me just jump here to the end. So if you look at the end of 2022, we averaged out about a $405,000, which was about a 1.2,000% growth. So basically 12x the business. And you can see these numbers right here. This is all real. Obviously, you can see it's all sales channel by online store. So I'm not kind of, doing this with draft orders. And you can see we had these couple of different jumps and leaps here. And I'll show you the ad account as well. Back then we were using a different ad account. So you can see on this account, we spent about 238,000 and it says it generated about 985. But the reason we switched from this account was because it wasn't tracking properly. So we spent about 238,000 that year to generate a $404,000 return. And with that, obviously this also has, I think if I go back and go to that year specifically, so 2022, for the sake of this, let's do this quickly. So 2022, you can see that we spent $237,000 right there. All right, perfect. So this was in 2022. And what we did here is we really just focused on putting the brand together and making it seem like an authority. Because right now what happens is a lot of these brands are growing, but they don't really know how they're growing and people don't really trust the brand. So we had to build a really solid funnel and a really solid website to make sure that people trusted this brand. And you can see here the conversion rate is about 2.08%, which was 77% higher than the year before. You can see we have a 7% almost add to cart rate. Same thing with the reach checkout, and then the checkouts was about 2%. So this is really, really healthy. You can see we helped them increase their AOV a little bit, but you'll see this change in the year after. So this is how we got this brand to doing about, 400, almost $500,000. And the goal was to get them to $1 million, which we did achieve last year. So if I go to last year, you'll see we doubled again and we hit 1.1 million. And you can see here it was a 175% growth. And if you see this as well, you'll see that the conversion rate actually went up to 2.3%. We were able to make that even better, as well as the AOV went up about 31%. And this is after we started implementing a lot of upsells, etc., stuff like that, which I'll also explain in this video. But you'll see here on the online store, we did about 1.1 million in sales. And again, there's no draft orders here. And you can see the ad account here. So I can go to last year. Actually, they removed that option. So I just gotta click on these real quick. So actually that's 2023. So 2023, click right here, go all the way to the end of the year. So you'll see here, we spent about 337,000 to do 1.1 million. So we actually got a little bit higher than a 3x return on this. And what we focus on isn't just ROAS, but this is just because this is the metric that people care about. So I'm just mentioning it here. But as you can see, we ended up at $337,000 in spend and did 1.1 million in sales. And just so you you can see, for example, this peak, which was around May of 2023, you can see that we ended up spending, I think, roughly about $50,000. I can go back to May specifically, just so you can see the kind of returns that these guys were seeing. It was extremely profitable. So if you see here, we spent about 47,000 on Facebook ads and we generated about 143,000 just from these Facebook ads. And that month came out to about 157. So obviously we have some email and stuff like that. So this is the actual kind of proof. So now you guys can see that what I'm talking about is actually legit. All this is legit. I can refresh this page. You can see all this data is real. So now what we're going to go into is I'm going to show you everything about how we were doing things. So I'm going to show you the media buying side. I'm going to show you the LPs, as you can see, so the different kind of landing pages we were using. I'm going to show you some examples of PDPs that you can use. And I'm also going to show you the cart abandonment flow that we were using. So make sure to watch to the end and make sure to take notes so you can implement this for your brand today to start scaling. All right. So to give you an idea of what the media buying looks like, I'm actually going to show you their most recent ads. So I'll go to the last 30 days and you'll see we have some ads live right here as well. And I'll actually go to the last 7 days so you can kind of see how we kind of run things. So we mainly focus on having 2 campaigns. So we usually have a third campaign if we're running some type of sale, but usually it's 2 campaigns. One of them is a very low budget stacked retargeting one. And then the other one is a completely broad testing / scaling campaign. And what we do is we do creative bucket testing. What that means is we will create ad batches and then we will test them against our winning ads to try to find better ads. So if you see in this example here, you can see we have a ton of ad sets coming in here, and that's because we use DCTs, dynamic creatives. And what we do is we drop these batches in here to test against our winner. And if you can see here, we have one called the champion ad set. And if you see, the champion ad set actually is still taking the majority of the spend in the last 14 days. And it's the one that's generating us the most purchases at the best cost per purchase. Now, this one obviously has a lower cost per purchase, but as you can see, it's not taking the spend properly, which means that it's not as scalable as this one. So we always look to find the most scalable one. So if you do the last 7 days, you'll notice that this is still the most scalable one. So when taking the majority of the spend, yeah, this is what we kind of want to focus on. So what we do is we use this as a testing basis. So we are always spending roughly about $30,000 a month on this account. And what we're trying to do is drop in new ads to try to test it and see when we can find a winning ad. And when we find a winning ad, that's when we start scaling rapidly again. And what makes a winning ad is being able to do research, being able to identify winning angles, and being able to have crystal clear information about who it is that you're actually targeting. So I'm going to show you exactly how we do that as well, but just want to show you the media buying strategy here just so you can kind of see how that works. I'm going to build a template for you just so you can follow it and build your own DCT so you can see how that works. So we're going to choose sales, and then in sales, we're going to go to manual sales campaign. And then here, what we're going to do is go to, you can leave all the stuff the same. You're just going to make sure that you turn off catalog, that you turn on the campaign budget, and then you set your budget to whatever budget you want to be testing with. Then when you go into the ad set level, you're gonna make sure this is website and shop if you have it. If not, you could just use website. We recommend use shop because Facebook is pushing that right now. But then you wanna make sure, obviously, you choose your pixel, you choose the conversion event that you wanna use, and you go here, make sure you turn on dynamic creative. So this is gonna make sure that you have the DCT that we're talking about. And then down here, you can pretty much leave all this open. What we like to do is switch this to what they used to call switch with more control, or sometimes they call it default. So here, you're gonna see, once I switch this to switch to more control, switch setups, you'll see I get the old kind of style. We choose the countries we want to use, we choose the age groups, we choose the genders, we don't do any of this detailed targeting or anything like that. And then placements are broad, and that's basically it. So we've basically now created the actual DCT. Now, when you come into the ad side of things, all you do is turn off multi-advertiser ads, select images, select all the images or videos that you want to use, turn off optimized creative for each person. And then what we do is we write 2 copies, 2 headlines, we leave the description empty, and we put our URL. And that's how we build DCTs, and that's what we test. So that way we eliminate the variables and all we have is one variable. So that is how we do our actual media buying. And we just keep doing this, and we do research to find better winning ads. And I'm going to go through how to do that in a second as well. So just as a recap, what we're doing is basically creating one campaign, and we're testing with a budget that we're willing to spend every single month on testing. And then what we're doing is we're creating DCT campaigns with dynamic creative, and we're putting 3 images, 2 headlines, and 2 copies into each ad set with a a different angle, a different audience, and we're testing to see which is the one that's going to work. And then the one that is going to work is the one that's going to take the most spend, but also generate the most results at the most efficient cost per purchase, or ROAS, whichever metric that you are focusing on. And quick tip, make sure that you exclude your purchasers in the last 90 days or 30 days, depending on your purchase cycle, and that you only launch 2 DCTs at a time, and you don't launch more than 2 DCTs, because then you create too much variable that you don't actually know what is driving the performance. So now we're going to talk about desires quickly. So what we like to look at when we're making our ads is the fundamentals of marketing. So there is desires, market awareness, and market sophistication. So what is a desire? So desires are innate human emotions that we cannot create. We can only channel through our product. So somebody that buys a facial cream that has hyaluronic acid isn't buying it because they want hyaluronic acid. They're buying it because they want the innate feeling of feeling confident in their own skin, and then they channel that through with the product having a unique mechanism being the hyaluronic acid, because what makes that cream better than any other cream is the fact that it has hyaluronic acid. So you need to gain clarity on exactly what your customer wants on a deep level, and then figure out ways to channel, and that's what we call desire. And the way you can do this is you can go on Quora, you can go on Reddit, you can go on YouTube videos and look at the comments of the specific niche that you're in, and try to understand from the watchers and the readers and the people writing these blogs, what is it that people are actually talking about? How do they talk? What kind of language do they use? What are they complaining about? What are some things that they would love to see? And then you can use that intel to create desires, and then create ad angles that satisfy those desires, and that's how you drive massive growth. The other thing is sophistication. And what sophistication is basically how numb someone is to your product. And what I mean by numb is how many times have they been sold something similar to. There's 5 main stages of sophistication. You can either be the first to market, you can be the second to market, and then you have to create something that is a new mechanism. And then the fourth option is you have to create a mechanism that is better than the new mechanism from before. And then the fifth one is identity marketing. And that's where you see Nike and Adidas and all these other brands that can't really compete over anything. They can make a new material, but then the week after, the other competitor has a new material. So what they really focus on is creating that image. So you can see for Nike, for example, they as a brand is just do it. That is kind of their motto. And they're trying to appeal to that person. When they put Cristiano Ronaldo on TV, they're basically making people want to be that person because they identify with that person. And then they use that as a marketing angle to be able to convert people at scale. So find out what your market sophistication is, and then based off of that, you're going to be making ads that resonate with that audience. And now we get to market awareness, and this is where you can get very creative in how you come up with ad ideas. So there's 5 levels of awareness. We're gonna go from the largest to the smallest. So the largest is unaware. So they're not even aware of a problem, a solution, your product, none of that. So you have to actually educate them. Then there is problem aware. So this is where they have a problem and they're looking for solutions. And then it's where you come in, you can call out the problem, they'll resonate with it, and then you'll be able to sell them a solution. Now, if they are past the problem aware and they're solution aware, that means they're already looking for different solutions. So, a solution is a hairdryer versus a towel. It's not a hairdryer versus another hairdryer. So if you come in and you speak to someone who is solution aware about a problem, then they're going to resonate with you, but they've already heard all the claims about the problem. So they're not really going to convert. What you need to do is start talking to them in their own stage, which is the solution aware. So you need to come to them with a different solution. A lot of these ads that you see that are this versus this ads where you have like a hairdryer versus a towel, they work extremely well when you're trying to sell a hairdryer because people see the towel, they recognize the solution that they've already been sold, and they see a new solution that they haven't explored yet. Now, the second awareness level is product aware, and this is where people are aware of your product, and this is where you can compete with other brands about different features and stuff like that. That's where you see the fast charging and all this kind of stuff come into play. And then the last thing is fully aware, and this is where people are aware of your brand, they're aware of your product, they're aware of all the competitors in the space, they know what options are available to them. And this is where, when you're doing aware, it's usually going to be promotional ads. It's going to be stuff that's more related to just converting someone who's ready to buy, giving them a good deal and a reason to buy. We usually start with the middle 3, and we launch 3 DCTs for every one of those as soon as we take over an account, because we're focusing on finding the highest probability of a big audience that we can scale in. And as I said, we started at the biggest and went to the lowest. So aware is going to be your smallest one, and this is the bottom of your funnel. And as you go up to unaware is the largest part of the market, but it's also the hardest to convert because you have to walk them through every step. You have to convince them that they have a problem, then show them all the solutions, then show them your product as a main solution for them to convert. versus if you catch someone in solution aware just looking to buy, it's very easy to convince them why your solution is better than anyone else's, and they'll go with yours. So we usually start in those main three: problem aware, solution aware, and product aware, and we try to find a pocket of the market that we can start scaling in. And I just want to cut in and say, if you're getting value out of this video, I would really appreciate if you're a brand that's doing maybe multiple 6 figures or 7 figures a year and you're trying to scale to 8 figures, to click the button below and book a call with our team so we can have a chat and see if we can help you guys grow. We're a very boutique team that works with a maximum of 15 clients a year, and we're trying to find brands that are looking to scale, that are primed to scale. They have amazing products, and they just need someone to be able to make better ads and better customer journeys to help them scale from, doing 1-2 million a year to doing $10-12 million a year. So if that's you, I would love to have a chat with you. Just click the button below, choose a time, let's have a chat. It's not a sales call. I just really want to understand more about your business, see the opportunity there, and see if we can help you guys get to where you want to get this year. Now, going back to the creatives, one thing that we want to talk about is the messaging. So what makes messaging so strong is your ability to channel those desires, emotions, awareness all together to create an ad that people resonate with. So I'm going to put up my whiteboard here and just show you a little bit about messaging and how you can kind of come up with the best messaging possible. So there's a couple different things that go into making ads that convert. One of them is the hook. The hook is the main part of the ad. So I'm just going to draw this little box, and you got to mind my drawing skills. So we're going to look at hooks. So the hook is the main thing that drives the ad, and there's 2 types of hooks that you can have. You can have a visual hook, and then you can have a text-based hook. And what I mean by that is whether you're doing a static ad or whether you're doing a video ad, the hook could either be the headline on the ad, or it could be the actual, visual, like the photo, the video, etc., whatever it is that really catches people's attention. I will say 90% of all of the results that we get for clients are based off of getting the highest hook rate possible. And if you don't know how to set up the hook rate, you basically just go to your Facebook ads, create a metric, and then in the custom metrics, you do your 3-second video views divided by all your impressions, and that will tell you how many people stopped for 3 seconds after they saw the ad, and that will give you your hook rate. So what you want to do with your hook is you either need to focus on displaying the awareness level that we're talking about. So for example, if we're doing solution aware, again, the towel versus hair dryer idea. If we're doing product aware, it's your version versus the generic version of the product. If you're doing a problem aware, it's really showcasing that problem visually and text-based to help people really see and feel that issue that they have with your and how your product fixes that. The hook is going to be a way for you to test the awareness and desires and sophistication level, and you're going to keep your sophistication level the same unless you get proven otherwise by the market. Sophistication changes once every couple of years. It's not as quick as awareness and desires, so you can get a lot out of just finding your real sophistication level that you need to be in and then being able to scale. And for example, if you have a business that doesn't really have a product that's that you can differentiate so much, what you can do is you can highlight a specific element, like I was talking about the cream in before, and say hyaluronic acid is the reason why our stuff works, and that's how you can kind of use that. So this is basically the hook in a nutshell. What it is we're trying to visuals and text be able to show them the desire and then be able to call out the different awareness level, and that will help us break into just getting someone to see the ad and then click on it. The biggest part's going to be the CTA as well, so you have to make sure that your CTA in your ad creatives actually pulls someone in that's not just click to shop now or stuff like that. It's something more along the lines of stop knee pain today, or something along the lines of making it desire based. And what we're going to be doing is interchanging these. So we're going to be testing this desire with this awareness for D1, A1, and then we're going to test D2 and then A2. And then what we're going to also do is shuffle them. So we're going to do D1 with A2 and D2 with A1. And what we're trying to do is basically test all the different combinations of these to try to find a winning combo. And what happens when we find a winning combo is you can start banging out one winning ad after the next. So all we're trying to do whenever we're doing creative testing is to find the combination of desire, awareness, and sophistication that we can run ads for. And then we can come up with, hundreds of hook ideas that we can then go and make videos, images, UGC, and be able to start scaling. This is how you see brands that start pumping out 10, 15, 20 UGC ads at a time, and these continue to scale. It's because they found the desire that they need to target, they found the awareness level they need to target, and they found the sophistication level they need to be within to convert people at scale. And this is exactly what you should be doing with your creative testing. Otherwise, I'm not really sure what you're doing. Now we got to look at the customer journey very quickly, and I'm going to show you here some of the landing page templates and examples that you can use to really convert people at scale. But in a highlight, what you want to make sure is that your ad actually resonates with with your landing page. And this is one of the biggest things that I see a lot of brands struggle with is their ad is talking about knee pain and then their landing page talks about back pain. And it's like, how are you actually going to convert someone? So you have to make sure that this process from going ad to LP is seamless. There is no change. They feel like they've kind of moved. This is where branding your ad comes into play. And like, I know a lot of people talk about branding and they're like, oh, like I need to use the same font. You don't need to use the same fonts and specifically all the same colors in your ads as your brand. However, you want it to feel the same moving across. So for example, let's say you use an influencer. I'm going to draw very cool influencer here. So let's say you use an influencer in your ad. You want to make sure that this influencer is also on the forefront of this landing page. So like he is there somewhere where they can see him and say, okay, like I'm still in the same place. I didn't go from, seeing Cristiano Ronaldo to now seeing, Messi, for example. Because if that's something that kind of brought them in, it will throw them off. So you want to make sure that you have a customer journey and a shopping experience that people enjoy and that you don't stop them from purchasing from you. So I'm going to show you some examples here of some landing pages that you can use. So we're just going to pop open this LP thing here and let's go through a couple. So there's obviously the listicle. So the listicle is like a short advertorial. This is one from Javi Coffee. They're a 9-figure brand. They run all of their ads to this and they have this, evergreen offer here. So you'll see it's about, 10 points about why this is great. And then there's a CTA in the middle that gets you to go in and build your own bundle. This is probably one of the best conversion funnels I've seen in a while for ecom that do so well. Their AOV is just continuously growing and just nonstop. So this is basically one example of a listicle, and it doesn't always have to look like this. I know a lot of people try to copy the exact same style. This is a very good example from a company called Burn. One of my really good friends, Spencer, actually runs their ads in their CRO, and this is a really cool example of a listicle landing page that you can see. So for example, not the same exact structure, but pretty much the exact same, and then at the end you have a CTA that then takes you to a product page to buy. So this is the exact same, and again, another one here is more of a offer based one, so you'll see up to 25% off bundles, and then it shows you kind of the 5 reasons why, and then goes to shop more. So these pages work extremely well. You want to try to use different LPs that are pre-sell pages before people actually get to your main selling page, which is the product page. These are a couple different examples that you can use. I would highly recommend you do. We used specifically listicles for the brand that I'm showing in this case study, and when we used listicle, we were able to drop our CPA from $70-80 per purchase all the way down to $40 per purchase, and it helped us to double, triple our ad spend by being able to scale. And that's how we had that growth from, we started the year at 52K and we went from 52 to 61, 61 to 87, 87 to 113, and then 157. And what happened here, this drop, is that we started to have a lot of logistical issues with this client. They weren't able to actually maintain all that volume that they were getting. So we had to, slow things down for a while, and they actually ended up getting a couple of investors, and now we're in the process of ramping back up. So this is the exact same kind of process that you can see here where, we introduced a listicle, I think somewhere around here, and it's helped us spend a lot more on ads. You can see the amount of traffic we brought in that month, and we just scaled from, I think we were spending like 20-30K on ads to start spending like 50K on ads a month, and that's how we kind of started to hit these numbers up here. So a landing page, especially like a pre-sale page, is really important to help you grow. So now we're going to go into the PDPs and the main CRO changes and pieces that you want to have to make sure you can convert properly. So I'm going to open these and I have them in mobile view. So the first one is Keeps. This is one of our clients we've worked with in the past, and what we did with their product page order form, and this is what we do with a lot of our clients, is if you see here, for example, if I scroll down, you'll see that I have the product image, I have some of the thumbnails, I have the reviews, the name, the price, the strike through for the sale, the color, the size, the headboard, and the add to cart, and a risk reversal of installments, all within the fold. What we mean by the fold is everything within like the first page that loads, and then obviously you have the scroll. So you can see that within this first 2 scrolls here, which is what we optimize for, you can see that we have everything from like the 10-year warranty, the ships in 3 to 5 days, 30-day returns, free shipping. All that stuff is right there on the page as soon as you get there. So it's basically impossible for somebody to be like sketched out about any part of this page. It really sells them on the product and shows them everything and gives them an option to buy all within the fold. And this is like what people call above the fold optimizations. We do this stuff all the time and it does amazing results when it comes to CRO. Now, another example is here. A big thing that we did with this brand is we actually changed the product photos. So this is something no nobody in the industry is talking about, but optimizing your product photos is like a night and day difference. Like we took the conversion rate on this brand specifically from 2.5% to like 4% by optimizing these product photos. And I don't know what's going on with this responsive viewer, but if you see here, these product photos would definitely get you to think. So if you're somebody that's like, oh, I could just buy the cheap stuff. Oh, we have a photo that will show you that why this is better than the cheap stuff. If somebody's wondering like, oh, like does it have, you know, the certain wattage or something, like again, fast charging, USB-C, this stuff. Another big thing is the countries, is like Australia, UK, EU, US. Like you can see all the different countries that you can do it in, use it in, and how it kind of can help you with your travels. And then the size as well, so people can kind of visualize what it is. And then the biggest thing here is we have a bullet point system. So we have like a couple different bullet points. This is actually a lot longer than I would want to, but with this client, he wants this a certain way. However, when we watched the heat map, the biggest thing that people were clicking on was this. People were clicking on this. Everyone, like 90% of people were clicking on this. It was the most clicked on thing on this whole website. So that's where we optimized the product pages, and we saw a massive growth in CRO. And then you can see here again, we have an add to cart, we have the bullet points, and we build these landing page template product pages for all of our clients. What we do is we basically have, you know, social proof. We have different sections about the product. It will go through all the different, you know, features and benefits and etc. And this has genuinely helped our brand scale massively. Another big thing that we do is obviously offer some type of offer for either volume or spend a certain amount to get free shipping. You see, for example, here when I click add to cart, I have a slider. I don't know why that slider is not here right now, but basically there's a slider that will say, you know, spend an extra $10 and get free shipping, etc. I'll show you this in another example as well. So this is basically from this. The product photos are just absolutely insane. They work extremely well. I highly recommend everyone to optimize their product photos. Here's another example from a brand called Lifen. Again, we don't work with Lifen, but we take a lot of inspiration from them. The team that's doing their CRO is absolute legends. So if you see here, again, their product photos really highlight specific elements that people care about. So less frizz, talks about the heat not being harmful, etc. These are all objections that people might have towards the product that they can then get resolved. Obviously, reviews, name, pricing, free shipping offer right there, colors, and then they also have like a Father's Day deal right on top of the add to cart. They have a 30-day money back guarantee right underneath there as well. So it's super easy for somebody to see this and be convinced to buy, because there's like all the objections are being handled right here. Again, even the pay with installments is right under the add to cart. You have the free 2 to 7 days shipping, so you can see all that stuff there, and you have reviews. So this is an amazing example of what you can do to try to maximize conversion rate. And then another one here as well, you can see this is one of our other clients that we built their website as well. Same kind of structure. We have the product, we have the thumbnails, we have the, you don't need the thumbnails, we just have them because sometimes people aren't intuitively swiping through these. So we have the reviews, we have the name, the price, a couple of different bullet points, the servings. These guys have the subscribe, so it makes it a little bit longer than it should be, but usually the add to cart would be right there. We're going to be building something custom for this, but what you'll see is you have the add to cart, you have the 30-day money back guarantee, and then you go down and it's a branded landing page basically for this product. So each product has a landing page. It shows you the ingredients, it shows you who is formulated by, why it was formulated, benefits, reviews, etc. And you have a sticky add to cart obviously following you. You can't see this because I have the admin access button here, but when you add this to cart, what you'll also see is we have a slider that basically says, you know, I'll delete this so you can see I have a lot of stuff on my cart here. We're doing some testing the other day, so it'll basically tell me if its cart is empty. This is the biggest thing you can do as well. If your cart is empty, you want to have these links that can take you to different collections. So if I click on this, it'll take me to the best sellers. Something's wrong with this responsive viewer. It always does this. But as you can see here, when I add to cart, what will happen is it will tell me that I will get free shipping if I spend $100. So you'll see it says $29 to get more free shipping. So this is a perfect example of what you can do. And again, I have another example here of another store, same style. We have the photos, we have the reviews, the name, the price, an offer, 3 bullet points. And then this volume discount thing is absolutely amazing because you can sell 2 or 3 or 4 to the same person, and it just works extremely well. So you always want to make sure that you have this, but try to make it more towards benefits about, like, you know, works for, you know, traveling alone, traveling with couple, etc. These are some stuff that we're going to be doing eventually for this as well. You can see get it between Monday and this, so people can expect when to get it. They have reviews right under it, shows them the main features of the product, and same thing, we got a comparison table, all that kind of stuff. So this is a good example of a landing page as well, and these are things that you want to make sure you have in your product pages always to convert amazing. So now the last thing I want to talk about quickly is a cart abandonment system. So you need to always have a cart abandonment system. So I'm going to show you an example here of some of the cart abandonment stuff that we did for a client before. so you can see how this works. So basically what we have is a 5-minute abandoned cart email and SMS. For some reason, this app didn't let us do SMS, but SMS absolutely prints if you can get SMS to be sending properly in these time frames. So 5 minutes, we send them an abandoned email and an SMS. You can see this one recovered about 7.5K, a 66% open rate, 10% click rate, and a 2% conversion rate. So you could just imagine how much traffic you're bringing in. You could be doing these numbers on a daily if you're bringing in enough traffic. Like if you're bringing in 3,000 plus add to carts a day, you could be doing $8,000-$9,000 off of just abandoned emails, let alone SMS. Usually we can get like way more money out of SMS, probably double this. So this is the 5-minute one. Then the 10-minute one, we include some kind of discount. So we'll do 5%. And you can see this one converted 11,000 people. It had a 4% conversion rate. So this is something as well. With SMS, you can expect same results. So you could double this basically. And yeah, so this is the 1 hour. Then we do 24 hours. We give them a reminder of that discount before. And you can see this one did 6.5K at a 3.3% conversion rate, 3.1. And then the 3 days afterwards, we send them another one with a 10%. And you can see that one converts at a 2.4 as well. And we did about 3,000. You can see some SMS, but I don't know why it was never sending. And then here, 5 days, you can see we had SMS and email, again, still converting at about a 1%. SMS was converting at about 18%, but it was barely sending. So this is an example as well. And then 7 days, you can see here, we follow them all the way to the 7th day and we offer them the biggest discount. And you can see on the biggest discount as well, we do a 4% conversion rate across both of these. And obviously, a couple of $1,000s in sales. So you can just imagine for your numbers what these would look like. You need to make sure you have this kind of flow set up for your abandoned carts, abandoned checkouts, and you're basically going to be making way more money. One thing to keep in mind quickly about CRO as well is that most people will never scroll past this. Like people will do 1 scroll, 2 scroll and leave. So if within 2 scrolls, if you don't show them and answer every question they have, they're not going to buy. I could show you tons of screen recordings and tons of scroll maps that show you that people don't scroll beyond like this. Like once they get here, they leave. So everything above the fold is going to be 90% of your results. You obviously have that, effect where 20% of what you do generates 80% of your results. This is exactly the case. Above the fold is 80% of your results. So just to recap, what you need to do to scale your brand the same way we helped this brand go from, again, doing under 30K a year to generating over $1 million last year, and we're aiming for multiple 7 figures this year, is to focus on making better ads that convert more people and speak to the customer's main desires and awareness level that they're in to be able to convert the most amount of people as possible, to create a solid customer journey that is so smooth that people just come in from the click and go straight to cash. So click to cash. And the third thing is making sure that your product page displays the value of your product in every aspect possible and does not miss any of the key points that makes your product the best out of everything else, and make sure that all of that is above the fold. So just to recap, what really matters are the 3 main things, right? Attention, conversion, and retention. Now, attention is by far the highest leverage thing you can do, and that's where ads come into play, and that's how you're creating top of funnel awareness. So when you're doing attention-based marketing, that is where you want to make the most amount of effort into finding winning ads. So spending a lot of time doing research, testing, and eliminating variables. You should always be eliminating variables. At the end of the month, you should be able to say, these angles don't work, these angles work. These are the customers we don't want to sell to, and these are the customers we do want to sell to, and these are the desires that we're going to focus on. You should be able to make those conclusions and be able to move forward with things that do work. If you're not, then you're creative testing all the wrong way. I hope you found value in this case study, and I hope you've been able to pull a lot of resources from here to be able to implement into your business right away and start seeing some insane results and growth for your business. So if you're serious about growing your brand this year and you're looking for a new perspective, a new way of doing things that actually generates results and allows you to make data-driven decisions that aren't based off of just ROAS and whatever other metric you want to look at, then I need you to click the button below, book in that call. Again, it is the easiest thing you can do for yourself and your business, and we'll see what we can do to help. And worst case scenario is you leave with a custom action plan of how you can implement everything we talked about in this video for your brand specifically. So click the button below. I hope to see you on the other side, and we'll talk soon. Peace.